Hello and welcome back to Autistic Radio. We often find people who have something to share with you, and Eniola is one of those people, a parent and somebody who is part of a community interest company reaching out to the families of autistic people. Hi Eniola, will you tell me a little bit about the event that's coming up soon?
Thank you so much, Jules. The event that we have scheduled for the 7th of March in Cambridge is focused on providing support to neurodivergent families, particularly those raising children with an autism diagnosis. The theme is breaking barriers and unlocking communication in neurodivergent children.
Tell me more about how the organisation was set up. Is it just parents? Are any of the parents autistic themselves?
Primarily parents. Most are based within Cambridge, United Kingdom. Approximately about 14 months ago, I wrote a book about my first son's autism diagnosis journey, and that was how this community was set up. The vision is to provide support to families navigating the complexities associated with raising children with additional needs, primarily focused at families with other cultural differences. I'm originally Nigerian, based in the United Kingdom. Within my culture, autism is not something that people come out openly to talk about. But with the experience I've had raising both my sons, I realized that shying away from this topic is not something that is going to help our children in the long run. And that is really the primary motivation.
That's beautiful. Those sentences that you've just said there, I understand that there is a need for people of different cultures to represent themselves and tackle this difficult subject of autism. There's something else in my mind. Are the people who are instigating this entirely non-autistic, or are any of the people who shape the way you do things autistic themselves?
Not all the parents have disclosed any form of neurodivergent condition, including autism. However, many have more or less suggested that they could possibly have a sort of diagnosis, but they haven't explored actually going to get formally diagnosed.
This is a very normal thing, isn't it?
Yes.
People come together, their children are autistic, and then they start looking at them themselves.
Very normal. When I think about my own children and my own family and my husband, I've had to look inward. Is really to try and trace, okay, is it possible that any one of us have traits of autism or even ADHD? My husband jokes around about it that he probably needs to go and have himself checked. So yes, having children or a child with any form of neurodivergent condition, including autism, puts you in a position to start to check and actually critically look at some of the traits that you might have overlooked or not been able to give a proper answer to as to why you might be different.
That's interesting. And I hear the humour in you as a couple when you're tackling this, and I think that's something that's going to give you strength and resilience. When we talk about the event itself, is it primarily aiming at people from cultures originally from another place before the UK? Is it aimed at non-white British people, people who have cultures from all the way around the world, or is it for that group and everyone else too?
It's for that group and everyone else, because one of the pillars of our community is inclusion. But I mentioned the cultural aspect because that is the foundation on which the community was established, recognizing that there are some cultures that are not very open to having this kind of difficult conversation. So it's a way to help them. What we say a lot is to come out of hiding, to see that there is really nothing to be ashamed of, and to almost see all their other counterparts from different cultures to see that everyone is navigating something similar. So yes, it's for all cultures.
That's a wonderful concept, Eniola. Recently I was teaching in a school in the northern part of the Sahara, over the other side of the Atlas Mountains, in a Muslim school, and I was speaking to the principal of the school whose home I was living in, and the concept of autism was discussed around the dinner table, and I was told by both the principal and his wife that in his culture, the word autism, or this idea of autism, was difficult and shameful, and his neighbours were negative about the even existence of autism. And when I reflected his thoughts through my mouth on Autistic Radio, I was taken aside by somebody from originally India, and they criticised me, and they said that me taking those words and saying them was a racist act. How do I avoid that in the future? Because I don't want to hurt people with any racist act, but I do want to address that different cultures do have different difficulties and understandings around autism. What can you advise me with?
First of all, I must applaud you, Jules, for actually reflecting on that experience to try to glean, better ways of probably addressing it in the future. And the only thing I have to say to that is every individual is different. What might come across as not too pleasant to one person might actually be what many people will see as someone advocating for them and giving voice to their need. So I would just say, just give yourself grace. You might not be able to please everyone, but I think for me, what I do is I check my motive behind everything I do. Am I genuinely trying to help? As long as I'm able to say that I'm genuinely trying to help, then I do what needs to be done, being mindful also of language, and sometimes even checking with the group in question to see, okay, what is the best way to express this? Sometimes that little check can be all that would help to resolve it, but there's no perfection.
What I always like to hear is a group of people, an organisation that looks to help with good intentions, looking after people, but also being fair about it as well. Because as we know, the world is cruel. It's cruel to everybody. And being an autistic person myself, the sensitivity over certain things and how you're treated and mistreated in society, UK society, it can be really challenging. So it's good to know there's things out there, not just for people with autism, but parents, carers, families. It's just good to know that as we're speaking today, that there's something else that we've discovered and we're talking about, which is for the good of people.
Thank you so much for that. You've just kind of hit the nail on the head. This is the motivation behind what I do. And my children have taught me so much. I have 2 sons. One is 11 and the other one is 7, both with an autism diagnosis. And they've taught me so much about life. They've made me become more open to understanding other people's differences, almost like giving me an additional lens to look at life. So it was really difficult to go down this route because I'm still trying to make sense of my own unique parenting journey. But the fulfillment that has come in the past 14 months, seeing other families trying to also make sense of their children's uniqueness and their children's difference, and almost coming full circle from a place of not accepting the diagnosis to almost embracing the reality that is ahead. That is what fuels our journey. And I'm not alone in this work. I have other families that are supporting. We call ourselves families. So we're like a family within a family. And this is our drive to really see that society becomes a truly, truly inclusive space for every person, irrespective of whatever difference that they manifest. Thank you.
Well, listener, you can hear the passion in Eniola, and that is a good enough reason to find this event from the program notes here, or contact Eniola, because she is creating a model that other people need. And I believe that Eniola is one of those people who will reach out and help you in your journey too. Eniola, thank you for coming and telling us about this today. Just give us the dates and briefly tell us what will happen on the day.
Thank you so much, Jules. The event is free for everyone to attend. It's happening on Saturday, the 7th of March, 2026, from 1 to 4 p.m. The key activities to look out for on the day: speech and language sessions with a reputable speech and language provider, panel discussions with families with lived experiences, sharing their stories alongside some of their children that are able to do so, and an additional panel discussion with professionals, because we see professionals as partners on this journey to supporting our children. We have professionals from healthcare, from education, as well as a music therapist. So it's a well-rounded panel discussion we'll be having. And this event is open to all children of all abilities. We have a dedicated space for every child to come. And we will be launching a Thrive in Interest initiative to celebrate the strengths of our children. Free to attend, open to all families and professionals. You don't have to have anyone with a neurodivergent condition to attend, because it's part of creating awareness, because together we can build a truly inclusive society. Parents cannot do it by themselves. Professionals cannot do it by themselves. We need everyone working together. So this invitation is extended to all. I hope to see you there.
We speak our words, we listen.
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 Autistic Radio is about us, it's for us, and it's from us. Autistic Radio is about you, it's for you, and it can be from you. We have the bigger picture. Advocate, use us, speak to the world, your project, your idea, your enthusiasm. We have a whole range of different programs that will fit what you want. As far as listening goes, there's some challenging stuff out there, because amongst the identity, the entertainment, and the community, we also make serious programs with autism professionals, challenging their ideas and bringing what you say in other spaces to them. A lot of those are difficult listens, but it's a holistic gathering. It comes all together. Autistic Radio is very varied. We need a favour. To encourage us, we need you to share us. When you share us, you give autistic people power. When you share us, you make us impossible to ignore. When you repost on LinkedIn and Facebook and anywhere else, you're advocating for everybody in the autistic community. So pick the things that you're happy with and get them out there. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you from all of us.